Entrepreneur.
So you finish the rest of your morning routine, no big deal. You walk out, and when you come out, Ed is there. All clean, pristine. It's just like, I don't, Percy probably got stolen because of me.
What do you mean? Like you made an enemy somewhere down the line and trying to get back at you or something?
When I ran from Forefatherland, I took up the group of criminals. They're the only people that would have me. I got away from them, went onto the Brahmin trails, but I guess they were around and they discovered I'm here.
So they're...
After they let us out, I went and checked your shop, and when I saw the footprint, I realized who it was.
Who?
She mentions the rattled lie off names, blah, 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 blah. These guys I used to run with, and I did some things with them I'm not entirely proud of in Forefatherland. But they all had it coming. They tried to hang me.
So you wouldn't be opposed if I blew their heads off, right?
I prefer not to murder people if we can get away with it, but there's another complication that my brother might be in town looking for me. My brother wants to take me back to get hung. I can't kill him. He's my family.
I can do it for you if it's...
I can't let that happen either. He's my family.
Okay.
Bert thinks I'm going to stick around. If I just go, they'll go with me. They'll let Percy go.
They'll probably blow him up before they let him go. Let's just face the facts.
Why would they? They don't get anything by that.
Except petty revenge if they're that pissed off with you.
What are you barking at now?
She totally agrees.
There's nothing out there.
Is the washer on?
Tuffy.
If the washer's on, it may be out of balance and banging around, and that would set her off. That's my dog's off.
Game interrupted on account of a barking dog. Don't woof at me. Don't woof at me. Shush.
Sit. You want a corn thing, you sit down.
Notice how that worked so quick. Alright, well, I was going to run, but if you really think they're going to destroy Percy, I'll stay.
Yeah, I'd rather not risk Percy getting blown up. At all. In any case, if they do come after you, well, you've got Bert and me and the father, and we'd be more than happy to keep you under protection for sure. If we can get Percy back, then that's even more protection right there.
Okay. So, you end up at the base.
Mm-hmm.
You get there,
Yep.
and you see the guys have, it's not been an idle 2 weeks. They're military guys. They don't do idle. That
Yep.
does not happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've got buildings that have gone up, trench lines. They've got some razor wire. You've got a makeshift landing field for the airships. I did research on the airstrip thing you mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why the Buffaloes would land is because their wheelbase is so narrow.
Mm-hmm.
Bomber wheelbases are wide. So they're actually having to make an airfield. So you see airfield under construction. Basically, they're all busy bees. And the only people that are actually out walking patrols right now are the Spartans, since they're the Special Forces guys.
Yeah, I just figured they could land Buffaloes because they used to land Messerschmitts and Mustangs on grass fields, so...
When you come up to the door, the camp gate, the guards salute you because they recognize you as being Lieutenant Sheriff. And like, greeting Sheriff, what brings you by?
Well, they talked to somebody about, utilizing a drone. Sort of, more or less.
Okay.
Kind of, unofficially speaking.
Jackson? Yeah, Jackson. That'd be Jackson over in the Shrike shed. Now, you know that there's some slang that's happened in the game. The Shrike is the drone program that the Lansing people keep together. You see one shed over with a bunch of antennas on top of it on the far side by the airfield.
I figured they'd have one, base this large. Can't keep the Buffaloes in the air all the time, too expensive.
So you walk over there, and you see there's a bunch of tech geeks working what look like big model airplanes.
Hello, gentlemen, ladies.
They all look up. They look at each other.
Now, I take it that, like any other pilots, you guys need some, and yes, I'm going to stroke your egos by calling them pilots. I'm going to pet and stroke and rub their ears. Like any other pilots, you folks need some air hours. Am I correct?
Always.
Alrighty, well, your need for air hours and my need for air reconnaissance may have a coincidence.
What exactly are you asking me to do?
nothing illegal, of course, because after all, you know, point of the badge. But we have some strangers in town who, and let's just say they've caused some ruckus. And we'd like to keep track of them and find out how many they are, so that when they stick their big toe across the legal line, I can step on them.
Well, I can't really divert military resources for a civilian matter.
Well, like I said, you guys need pilot time, and, you know.
I tell you what, if you can get the base commander sign off on it, fine, but...
Oh, ready? I'll see what I can do then.
Okay. You walk over to the base commander's shed. His secretary's outside. His secretary's secretary's outside that. You wait the 45 minutes it takes to get through the doors and all the paperwork and all the rigmarole the military likes to pull on people, which still has not changed in the post-war era, to find you're talking to the base commander. The base commander is a man by the name of Billion? No.
I only talked to Lieutenant Colonel, so.
It was a woman. That's right. It was a woman by the name of Jillian. It was a woman by the name of Jillian Marks. And she's got colonel bars on her. Sorry, colonel birds on her collar. She sees you come in and she's like, "Sorry, Sheriff, what can I do for you?"
Well, ma'am, we have a small matter in town that, well, let's just put it bluntly, it ain't so small. We have someone who is effectively blackmailing several citizens to try and kidnap another citizen. And yet a third foreigner who's come through here looking for one of those citizens to basically take him back home and hang him. Let's just say it's all complicated. Yeah, they're trying to take one of our people, take him back to fatherland, to the fatherland over there, and, well, hang her.
Here's pick up. For Fatherland?
Yep.
Well, I do believe that would make that a matter of possible state aggression.
Mm-hmm.
How can I help you?
Well, you see, this pastor from Fatherland is coming through our town with a bunch of bounty hunters looking for another criminal gang and, well, one of our citizens that he says has committed crimes in his country and they wish to hang. Basically, he's accusing her of witchcraft.
Witchcraft.
Yeah, I am not shitting you.
We're talking bell knobs and broomsticks?
Yeah, basically oogity woogity.
Right.
Yeah. So anyways, considering that this individual that he's wishing to take back is also instrumental in blowing up said big honking huge super gun and wiping out 2 potential enemy hordes coming in our direction, I think we kind of owe them, do we not?
Are they a Gander citizen?
Well, we don't really know for sure.
So that's a no.
Well, actually, no. It's a matter of we really don't know. But she did save our asses. We couldn't have done it without her, and I'd probably have a couple of people more dead if not for her.
What do you need from me specifically?
Well, we need to track down said pastor, find out how many people he has with him, and keep an eyeball on him. And I figure since your drone pilots need some airtime, why can't they just kind of fly off in that direction and, well, get some training in?
Okay.
All nice and official, and nobody has to lie.
She writes an order, hands the order to you, says take this back to Jackson who runs the Shrike Shed.
All right.
I'm gonna let you access 2 drones, one for each 12-hour shift, and we'll just have the drones follow you. And when you point the man out, we'll follow him.
Excellent.
Because the drones do by real-time camera feed.
Yep. I figured that much. This is what happens when you talk to your brother a lot about things.
You get any of my drones shot down, they're coming out of the town's budget.
Well, considering that this could get very bloody very fast, I'm willing to take the risk.
All right. So you have your drones. You walk back over to Jackson's Shrike Shed. Jackson's like, sure. And he pulls out what's a common kind of drone called a Busby. I'm sorry, not Busby. Oh, darn it. Did I write it down in the equipment guide? I think it might still be saved online.
It was actually
the GM a second.
military yesterday, but we ran out of time there and we had to move on.
Weapon.
You basically switch on.
Coverage.
Well, actually, the idea I had was that since one of the things that Nathan told me is that drone pilots need airtime, pilot time like any other pilot, right? And so they tend to basically just screw around with them. unlike jets that have combat training and dogfighting and so on.
Okay,
drone
so-
pilots just kind of fly around and just.
I've lost it,
basically
but essentially
fly
it's
on
a drone that's piloted. It has a small, like, little 9mm gun.
Mhm.
And essentially it's like just this little 9mm gun and a bunch of cameras on a wing.
Yeah.
But they'll use those for you, and they kick one up. Come on, Artie, come on. Yes, all right. We'll follow you.
Alrighty then. I'm gonna go find Joshua.
And he says, be advised, we have a range of this guy of about 10 miles.
Hopefully that won't be a problem. I don't
Okay.
think these guys are hanging out too far.
Well, it can't be that far because he came into town this morning.
Yeah. And so let's go find Joshua. And then on top of that, I'm gonna have it, and the drone's on its target. I'm gonna talk with my deputies about keeping
now-
my mouth shut.
The only thing is radio signal. How are they going to talk to you radio-wise? They've got Veronica's PIP signature. They can talk to the radio to her. But you don't actually have a radio.
Actually, yes, we do. Remember, in our loot,
Okay.
we have walkie-talkies.
Oh, that's right. You have the... So they get the frequency so they can talk to the party.
Mhm.
So now we have a way to communicate. Okay.
You just don't use them because I don't want to use those batteries.
And with that, you walk back into town. I'm going to say at this point the party is together to speed play. You come. There's Veronica at her house. Ed is there. Still looking guilty. She's brought this trouble on everybody.
Compared to normal trouble, this is nothing.
So
This is Tuesday.
I'm gonna guess that at least Bert already knew who took off with my robot, and already knew that Edda's got a bunch of people after her and all that. Just didn't bother to let me know.
Yes, because I know you. And I'd rather this not turn into a bloodbath unless there's no other option. This is not Tuesday yet. When it becomes Tuesday, then we can go off half-cocked and do the stupid. It's still Monday. It's not even no, it's not even Monday yet.
So just Sunday. I'll wait till he gets back.
You know what the Tuesday reference is? It's a trope. It comes from Buffy, and now it's kind of applied in a lot. You hear it in a lot of shows now, especially like Supernatural and so on.
What is it?
Whenever the shit hits the fan, the main character protagonist looks up at the sky and goes, "Yep, it's Tuesday." Because that's when Buffy was on television, back when it was on.
Oh.
And one of the jokes on the series was, whenever something went wrong, one of the characters would look at the other characters and go, "Yep, it's Tuesday." It's kind of a breaking the fourth wall in joke.
Mm-hmm.
Now a lot of shows do it, like Supernatural, Supergirl, Arrow has done it a few times.
Yep, it's Tuesday.
Mm-hmm. They look at the situation, realize it's completely blown out of control, and especially the blonde chick, Arrow's Oliver's wife, goes, "Yep, it's Tuesday." So yes, it's not Tuesday yet, Veronica. We're trying to keep it from turning into a bloodbath.
I'm just saying, if Percy's damaged or harmed or anything like that, don't hold me accountable for my actions. Just saying.
As long as you don't kill any tax-paying citizens in the wrong, or in anything but self-defense, then no, I won't hold it against you. On the other hand, if they're not citizens, and they're criminals, and they're trying to kill you, feel free to unload into them and turn them into friggin' lead weights.
I'm glad we got that cleared up.
I got no problem killing scumbags.
Hmm.
And of course I'm thinking to myself really, really loud. I'm hoping Etta doesn't catch up on it. I'm including her brother in that regard.
Oh, yeah.
The worst kind of scumbag is a scumbag who wears the colors of purity.
Mhm.
That's the reason I was really hating
Like
the mayor there
Joshua?
for a bit. Yeah, that's the reason I was really hating the mayor for a bit. He acts all respectable, but he tended to be a bit of a, cowardly scumbag, at least in our initial meeting of him. So
Make some coffee.
he's actually grown a
Yeah.
spine and actually turned out to be a fairly useful mammal, so I'm not gonna.
Okay. So since I had to take a little pause right there, did I miss anything?
We were just basically breaking into the Veronica that it's not Tuesday yet, so no bloodbath.
So Ed is like, so let me get this straight. We've made a deal with Joshua.
Yes, because I'm trying to set him up. See, he's chasing your former gang.
How exactly are you setting him up?
See, he's chasing your former gang. So I'd like his people to meet your former people and get to know each other in a close and intimate way, using firearms and sharp, pointy objects. And then we mop up the survivors. I've made it perfectly clear to him that you're not going with them except over my dead body. Though I didn't actually put it that way, I'm sure he got the message.
So what am I supposed to do while you're working with Joshua? Just hide here in town?
No, well, that. But also go to the mayor and very quickly become a citizen of the Lansing Republic.
That's going to be very difficult to sell. Everyone still calls me the Elsa.
Yeah, well, also people still call me the Connie, and yet I'm a citizen and a sheriff.
Because you already were
True.
a citizen.
Yeah, but can anybody prove where I was born?
I don't think I can persuade him alone.
Oh, no, I'm coming with you because I'm not.
I can go with you too.
I am good father will be
Everybody
coming
goes
with you because we're not letting you in this town anywhere alone while your brother's around here. Because I can guarantee you he will try something stupid if he sees you out in the open. And, well, frankly, I don't want collateral damage if I can avoid it.
Tappy,
On
no.
the other hand, it would be pretty damn convenient
Tough.
because then I could hang his ass. On the other hand, that would be kind of convenient because then I could hang his ass. Yes,
Sit.
I'm going to speculate that out loud.
Sit. Hey, sit. Put your butt down. Sit.
He's like, I'm not gonna listen, Dad.
Sit. Sit, Tuffy. Sit.
Tuffy, sit.
Sit. Sit. We're not playing. Sit. Sit. We may need to take her back for a retraining session. Hey,
No, she just doesn't want to listen right now.
sit.
I think she needs to go outside. She's really curious about this world.
No, she just thinks we're gonna play.
No.
Tappy, come here.
Go see Mama. Alright, so sorry about the interruption.
It's okay.
Sit.
So you're gonna leave out of here in the house while you guys go talk to the mayor, or you're
Oh,
gonna
no, we're
take
going
the
to do the mayor because we want to get this done fast. Because
Okay.
quicker, because the colonel put a bug
So
in my ear about
the
this.
group proceeds across town. Do you have your radio and your Pip-Boy on?
Duh.
Which station are you tuned to?
Ow, 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 ow. Ow, sorry. Itch.
Only Lonely Republic Radio.
Itch.
I don't know, maybe switch between the two, see which one is more interesting.
So Republic Radio right now is playing a bunch of political talk about what's going on in Lansing and the overall reaching greater northern Michigan, blah, 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 talk show. Turn to Lonely, she's off her loop right now. My fellow Wastelanders, it's come to our attention that some of you have decided the proper way to solve your problems out in the placards and the stocks is to do it with firearms. May I encourage you not to do so, or a visit from the local sheriff and the deputies will be following. And frankly, I'll laugh at you when they put you in the stocks. We all have to get along. We all have to play by the rules, my fellow Wastelanders. Or otherwise, we're no better than the Raiders. And if you cannot play by the rules, then you have no position being anywhere near Brightwater or the Lansing Republic. You might as well be, a forefather. She clicks off and goes to her next
Thank you, girl.
thing, because she basically heard what happened in the church.
Thank you, girl.
Goes to her next set of tracks.
This is one of the reasons I want to keep her as an ally.
I told you.
You get up to the mayor's house. The mayor Horace looks like he's had better days.
Hey, Horace, I hate to
When
have
you arrive, there is a line stacked up around the door and outside the house of people wanting to know if their property is safe. Is there a crime wave in Brightwater? Blah, 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 blah,
Oh,
blah.
Jesus Christ.
Which people are these?
They're all shop owners.
Oh, they want to know how
Oh,
if their
really?
property's safe.
Oh, really? Oh, really? When they did absolutely nothing to help Veronica with hers, they want to know if there's. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
By the way, I
Okay.
still remember the guilty ones. Or at least the ones with the guilty faces.
Anyway,
Father,
he shoos
have fun with that.
he
while I'm
shoos
inside.
them out of his office, and some of them will remain in the lobby while you will walk into a more private area. And he sits down behind his ramshackle desk. On the cover, it's got old magazines, really old magazines, pre-war magazines. They're just put there because he needs something to look busy. And over the grinning face of the actress Vera Cruz, a bit of Fallout fan lore. He puts his hand on the Time magazine and he goes, I don't know how these people did this. Because this is making me old really quick. What can I do for you today, Sheriff?
Actually, it's what you can do for out of here.
What's that?
Need to make her a citizen fast.
Like real fast.
And why would I do that?
Well, because, well, A, she has saved our bacon a lot. Saved quite a few of your citizens who would have died otherwise often. Helped blowing up a super gun, helped wipe out 2 hordes, and, oh yeah, actually negotiated the peace that made me sheriff and kept you mayor. Without having to break out the whole fucking riot in the process. Remember the little speech the other week? So, yeah, and well, she's in trouble right now. They want to hang her back at Forefatherland for being a, quote, witch. And we'd like to keep that from happening, since we kind of owe her.
He looks at it. Why do they think you're a witch? Sometimes I see things.
She's psychic.
Ah.
Which is why we kind of need her around here. She's been saving our bacon with that.
Yep.
It's fortunate we're not further in the Lansing Republic where distrusted mutants and the Patriots are more active. And I have no love of those black shirt wearing jackasses.
Yeah, you and me both.
Well, it's because then I'm stuck with Marisol. When they broke her back, she got a real hard on for anyone that was in government because the government somehow let it happen.
Well, I can't blame her for that either.
If I make Etta a citizen,
Mm-hmm.
we call it even?
Actually, I think this would pretty much make our slates clean, yes.
I agree. Young lady, raise your right hand. She raises her right hand. Horace goes, do you promise not to be a jackass? Yeah. You promise to do what the government tells you? Yeah. Good, you're a citizen.
Let's get the paperwork signed, get in the files.
Oh, and since you're a citizen now, congratulations, I'm drafting you. Welcome to the militia, do whatever the sheriff says.
That's even more protection. I shake his hand. This guy's great. At this point in time, I owe him the favor now.
Then Horace looks at you and goes, my aide tells me that you promised Marisol I would give her an interview?
No, I actually said I would try, and I wouldn't make any promises. So, no, her aide's being a little...
This is you trying and failing. Are we in agreement on that?
Yes.
Okay, good.
By the way, though, Mayor, you might want to do at least one before the election, just so you can basically write it off your bucket list.
No, I have some plans for that, too. Father, in your humble opinion, since we've not had time to talk recently, what is the mood of the town?
Lukewarm, I guess. I mean,
I'm concerned that citizens just decided to loot Miss Rose's place and did nothing to stop the event.
Hell, actually...
I assume you've already given sermons about why that's a bad idea.
Yeah, actually, Father, apparently several, from what I was able to see in the crowd, and then reactions to his sermon, several of those said shopkeepers helped loot said shop.
Well, I don't intend to tell you how to run your church. But stop by the offices next week. It's generally been my observation that crime gets worse when there's poverty. Perhaps we should talk about some kind of emergency relief fund for citizens.
That's actually not a bad idea. I'll talk to Marisol about it as well. She can probably round up some donations.
good idea, Mayor.
And I think it'd probably be best if, rather than the state in charge of that, we did it through your church.
Yeah, that'd work too. I think she'd go along with that.
The added weight of the religious sentiment behind the charity would probably encourage more people to contribute than if I just went around and passed a tax.
That'll work. And yeah, Mayor, I'll let Marisol know that it was actually your idea.
Loaves and fishes and all that. And yeah,
That may buy you a little
goodwill.
peace on air. Because frankly, at this point in time, I hate being between you two, but if she's not around to let them vent, but on the other hand, I don't want to make your job any harder than it already is.
What is this I hear about we have a forefather in town, other than the former Elsa?
That's actually why that's the reason why the Elsa, and I use that term in a sarcastic way, needed to be a citizen. She can't be deported.
What can I do to help you make that asshole's life hell?
Well, frankly, come up with every possible way and every possible little regulation that he and his little band of every bounty hunters has to follow. Like registering as bounty hunters because they can't collect their bounty in this country without them. Oh, and they can't transport criminals across state and federal lines. without permission. Oh, and just anything else you can come up with would be wonderful. I figured she had to go out. I mean, it wasn't just, she seemed to be
See
antsy.
if she needs to go out of here.
Probably she'll often walk out the door just to walk out the door, and she'll stand there.
I was gonna say that dog is just a perpetual bolt of energy, man.
I know.
Yes, she is.
That's it.
But she was making the same kind of movement
That's her nature.
that Ivy does when she has to go. That little back legs were going up and down. So I was wondering if she had to go.
She seems to be really lacking in discipline.
She's better than she was.
It's the last
She wasn't
day.
minding you at all.
We had so many people here yesterday that kind of, I think, threw her off a little bit. But yeah, she wouldn't sit down at all, and so
And
I think we need to
noticed
take
you
her
were
back.
doing something that I've read about with dog training. Your demeanor is very calm around her. You're very, and dogs are supposed to adjust to the, and she was just not adjusting at all. She was just
Right.
Yeah. Now, well, you have to remember too. She was also down and crippled for quite a while there too, and so yeah, the
Well,
training's
there's that,
the
yeah.
training has probably gotten very
That's
rusty.
what you heard me say to Ruth. We might go have her take a touch up.
What was with your hand behind your back when you were?
So she's only paying attention to this one.
Okay.
Yeah, that's another trick. I used to do that with the hunting dogs all the time.
You remember, dogs don't really respond to sound the way humans do. Humans have a mistake of trying to talk to them a lot, thinking the dog will listen to the sound of the voice. Dogs don't actually respond to sound that well. They respond to motion better. That's why you see dog trainers use their hands a lot.
Okay, that makes sense.
Until eventually they get it down to the dog correlates that one or two words will go.
Ironically, her surface level lack of discipline kind of, and this is just observations on my part, which could be completely invalid, but at the same time that she lacks surface level discipline, she seems very eager to please.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, but she just doesn't know how to do it.
That's the breed. She's got some Shepherd there, I think.
She's a Staffordshire Terrier.
Mhm.
Is the name of the breed.
I see her wanting to obey, like,
Yeah.
wanting to know how to obey. She just doesn't know how to do it.
I figure she had some Staffordshire. I figure she was a Staffordshire.
The genetic test said Staffordshire Terrier and a little bit of chow.
Yeah.
She's
Which
a
we're
really
sure
good
gets the
looking
ears.
dog, man.
She's a phenomenal dog. She is probably the best dog I've ever owned. She really
I
is.
really like her.
The terrier, though, is what makes her so hyper.
She is a
Yeah.
hyper little thing.
Terriers have very high energy.
Anything happen?
Yeah, she's good.
So, because the way her back legs were doing the whole.
Very tough.
With my dogs, that's usually a sign they have to go.
Hey. Hey.
Oh, too wound up right now.
Puffy.
She said.
Over here. Over here.
She did it.
Oh, I thought she said it. Her body was.
Oh,
Look at her.
Sit. Sit. Sit.
why do you not listen to Dada anymore?
Sit. Tuffy, sit. Sit. Thank you.
Good girl.
Shake. Good girl.
Anyways, as I was telling the mayor, as I was trying to say, now I lost my train of thought. Fuck.
All right, so
Anyways, I was trying to say, what I will try and do, I'll slip to Marisol in kind of a passing conversation thing, that the mayor is trying to put together a charity under the control.
Let's do
and
that next
complete
session.
Control and authority of the good
we'll do that
father.
next session. All right, so now we got to deal with the problem
so
with
you can avoid
Josh.
taxes. Buy him.
You've
buy him
got
some-
Etta with you. Do you want to keep Etta with you the rest of this adventure? Or do you want to sequester her somewhere where she's safe?
It's a catch
Might be
22.
valuable to have her.
It's a catch 22. It's valuable to have her because she knows when danger's coming, and with that mutant, we need all the head up we can get. On the other hand, having her with us makes her a target. But then if we sequester her, then we can't be assured that her brother's not going to try and get to her with us not around.
I'd rather have her in
She's
view.
sequestered.
Or then they have apparently a few people that can turn themselves invisible with stealth boys.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I don't think there's really a good solution here. We'll have to go to the
So keep her
lesser
with.
evils, and that's keep her with us.
Okay. So where do you guys go then next?
If nothing else, I'll keep her from freaking out.
But I tell you, by the way, that I put on my my combat armor and. Okay.
I've always got my armor
I'm
on because
ready.
at this point in time, I'm a walking target thanks to the badge. So,
Where do you guys want to go next?
well, let's see. Since I've had this armor now for how long? Yeah, it needs to be clean. No, I'm just kidding. I probably smell like a fucking jock suit at this point, though. Smell like a locker room. But let's see. Where else do we need to go? Actually, Father, what you could do since we do need to get as much of Veronica's equipment back as we can, because
Yeah.
we really don't know what we're going to need. I mean, if nothing else, if we can get her shit back and we end up having to use it anyway and get it destroyed, at least if we're the ones that destroyed it, we can use it up and charge the city for it, charge the government for it. But we need to get that crap back. And again, we need witnesses. We need to know how many of these gangers, of her gang, of Ella's old gang, is actually still around. Because yeah, he said he's chasing 6, but how do we know all 6 are still alive and still active? He may be bumping up the numbers to excuse his own numbers. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
We need to know how big the actual threat is and how much of the truth we're actually getting.
So that tells you what this group used to do is they used to run cattle off Forefatherland and resell it on Landside.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
That's old hat.
They have a Nightkin with his Stealth Boy. Other people's Stealth Boys are news to her, but they have the Nightkin with Stealth Boy, and he'd keep typically about 6 to 7 other hired hands on him. The guy that runs the little criminal organization's name is Thomas. Yes, Thomas. And she's like, so Tom would keep about 6 to 7 guys with him. All people who knew what they were doing, all people who could keep their heads quiet, but more than one guy at the Stealth Boys news. Maybe he found a stash of them or something, I don't know.
Yeah, that's the reason why we need to figure out as many witnesses as we can. We need to know how many strangers were in town late last night, late the other night, that could have been potentially members of this gang. I mean, true, some of them are probably Joshua's people as well, but the more heads we count, the better off we are.
Would I go about getting the message out to the parish that if you saw something and you feel you want to talk privately, off the record, discreetly, you can contact me or me. I won't even bring.
No, don't bring me into it
Yeah, I
because
won't
that
bring
makes them
it.
scared.
Me.
That's something that would probably be at a sermon
Yeah.
or a church bulletin.
Church bulletin, because you already did the sermon. It's
Yeah.
Sunday.
Bullet.
We need to
I
do
do
this
that.
All right, so quickly go to the printer and
Yep.
you get to the printer's printing the latest copy of whatever Wasteland magazine's being printed.
Whatever.
Probably
rag.
probably something along the lines of I'd say Wasteland Born, but probably some kind of like, adventure type magazine type thing for Wastelanders, right? And so they sit there pressing it onto the rag paper with their only press, and they see you come in, and the guy's like, "Yeah, what can I do for you, Father?"
I want to have this message pressed.
I thought for sure there was still some dip left.
No, we ate it all.
Oh,
Traeger's bulletin. I told you there wasn't going to be any of that left.
I was hoping.
James went out last night when we were watching Blade Runner.
Yeah, so
However, I wouldn't mind filling my coffee up when the coffee's ready. I'll do that. If there's not, and I'm going to throw some amaretto in there.
No, that's fine.
If I'd known you were out of chips, I would have picked up some on the way here.
They're both.
I love that
in
coffee,
here.
by the way.
All right, so you end up going to the printer, getting the handbill printed, and then just have the
Correct.
handbill handed out around the town. Okay, I'm gonna actually pause for a second since everybody's kind of like in emotion and we're getting a little distracted. All right,
Yeah, let's
so
go there.
as you're walking by, you hear a bunch of people gathering out on the placard side of town. You start hearing music.
Oh, that's something else I have to take care of.
And a large crowd starting to go to the south side of the town.
He's doing a revival.
No, the Father's with you.
No. Joshua.
You gonna go see what it is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I was heading out that way anyway to deal with the shootings. No, I had not forgotten Marisol talking about that.
Give me a second.
That's something I need to deal with. Sort of show the flag, so to speak.
Why is bisexual such a charged word in 2019?
Because the gays don't like it because they think you're a sellout, and the straights don't like it because they think you're a sellout.
So you get out into the placards and you hear this song coming out, and you look on the stage. Somebody has walked a junk bot into town. It has the body of a Ford 33 Coupe. Its arms are holding up massive speakers. And on the stage, in front of its knees, there are 3 about 4-foot tall human dwarves with long beards and black coats playing the song.
25 letters on my dresser, yes sir. To get paid. five miles.
imagining your face when you see
Break the bank, run the 5 miles.
Oh, I think you brought my cup in there, didn't you?
Yeah.
It's ZZ
We had done
freaking
those
top.
brands
Oh, okay.
Dusty will survive anything. He's like a cockroach.
Billy Gibbons is a god.
Thank you, sir.
So the band's getting out there and playing. I don't know how you mix it.
Oh, I see.
Brought you your instant stuff.
Yeah.
So these dwarf band is out there. They're playing. They're getting their money going. The Connies are all going wild because apparently these guys tour the wilderness. Still had dregs in it. Do you spoon?
Would you mind bringing the amaretto, sir?
I can do that. Do you spoon as well?
Yeah. Matt offered his fork, but he's already got a spittle on it.
Hey, my spittle.
I'm sure your spittle is high IQ, but thank you, sir.
And the name of the band is indeed ZZ Dwarf. And so they start going to their concert. They're set. Connies are throwing caps at them. People are having a great time. And then in the middle of the concert, they stop, and one of the dwarves looks and goes, "And now, song for the man of the hour. Sorry, the woman of the hour." They point to Veronica. Miss Veronica Rose. She's got legs. She knows how to use them. You're getting famous.
Okay.
In the second song, you hear the band say, "Just so you all cats and jacks know, all the caps we're making from this gig, they go towards relief for what you all have been going through. We're going to make it all a nice little fun to help feed your cattle. You all help each other out now. Come on." And people from town now are starting to come in because, you know, it's loud noise, what's going on. So people are throwing more money at the stage. And although the bands are dwarves, the strippers are not.
Thank God.
One of the strippers has more money than the others because she's a mutant. She has 3, if you catch my meaning.
Another 80s reference.
Gotta do it.
Recall.
Horace comes by in a bit of a tiff.
Of course you would.
You fucked up.
He looks to the sheriff.
Yep, I knew it.
Where are their permits?
He's really worried about that right now.
Horace,
Dude,
you want the charity to work?
They're setting up a rival account to our charity.
Actually, let's see if we can arrange it so he ends up with the money as well. Problem solved, right?
Handle this, and he leaves. Went to LaGrange, huh? So, that's your little Fallout weirdness for the day, the ZZ Dwarf Band. They will occasionally be making reappearances, because I like the idea.
now correct me if I'm wrong, that is a remake of the Howlin' Wolf song, is it not? Or,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How.
Why, thank you.
I had to break it to one of the cashiers at the racetrack because they
Yeah,
played the
it's
song
not
out
that
there.
song.
That it's not that. It's about a whorehouse.
So, what are y'all going to do now?
You might want to play that. Kids around.
Bert, how are we gonna play this?
Well, we need to find out who actually organized this right off the bat. And the best way to talk about that is go backstage and see who the heck is running the show.
Literally.
Yeah.
Okay, so after the little concert's over, they play for about 30 minutes. After it's over, you meet the band. And the band says that, no, we just walk our robot around the wilderness and, you know, play for whoever's there.
All right. Well, for future reference, because the mayor here is a bit anal retentive. Okay. He means well, but he's anal retentive. You guys need to make sure you got permits for doing this in the future. All right. 2, we already have charity here. I'm not saying it's logical. I'm not saying it's even rational. I'm just saying it's how it is, and it's for my insanity and lack of ulcers.
We gotta have a permit to play music.
Yeah.
So much for the land of the free, brother.
It's called Everybody Wants to Get Their Cut. Then, could you please make sure that the money that you're collecting for the charity ends up in the good father's hands. So everybody knows it's going to be fairly distributed and or not go to people that it shouldn't go to. You know, like raiders
mayor.
and the mayor.
You guys,
And yes, the mayor.
you
Sure,
guys-
we can do that. And they
guys
hand you
can
about,
trust- You guys can trust me.
and they hand you about the 1,000 caps they've made from the concert.
Never say you can trust me because then that automatically says I can't trust you.
I know.
Where do y'all go now?
Oh,
What was
you're
that
out
movie?
Trust me.
there.
Who's that move
Sure.
James just did?
What's that?
He just did this little.
I have no idea. Anyways, that was good. I'll take some
So,
of
by
that.
the way, didn't you have some guy that went out to check to see if any of those serial numbers and whatnot was
Yeah,
up
we've
the
been
day
doing
before?
that. That's been going on for a couple days now, yeah.
Oh.
And between that and the sermon, we have a pretty good idea of who's got what.
What's the matter? Matt, could you please bring me a paper towel?
No?
Taste okay to you?
That's
Please?
fine.
No?
Okay. Tastes weird to me.
How about a couple?
I don't like being so low.
What's the matter, James?
I keep hitting my head on it. I keep bumping into it.
Or even some of my prosciutto. Apparently doesn't like the taste of it.
Wow.
It's fine with me.
What's that? You don't have to worry about it. You're
James
so short.
looks like he's gonna puke.
Mm.
Ow, that's the second time I've hit my head on that lamp.
Okay, so. I'm still not. Oh, you're waiting for the deputies to come back.
Yeah. Ring my bell.
Deputies return and say, well, a lot of the people that seem to possibly have what Veronica's missing, some of the more useful techniques like rope and rataway stuff like that are all in the Connie hands.
Mhm.
But a lot of the more expensive stuff, we couldn't track down outside in the placards on the stocks. So I'm guessing it's probably somewhere inside town.
I'm pretty positive based on the reactions from the sermon it is indeed inside of town. But at least that keeps the Connies from being blamed for this.
Do you want us to round up the people we think got the stuff?
Actually, I think the best thing to do, considering it's mostly just small scale shit, we'll just go ahead and talk to their clan, the family leaders, and
Have
see
them
if we
pay
can't
for it.
just go ahead and get compensation for it.
Okay.
That way it keeps. That way there's no hard feelings and there's no need to get shot.
Sheriff! Sheriff! Someone comes in screaming.
What now?
They're slaughtering our herds!
Who's slaughtering the herds?
I don't know. It happened last night. It was all dark.
Hey, you wanted the job.
Actually, no, I didn't.
You didn't say no.
Because I kind of got drafted.
Okay, this could be our lucky break.
Yes, it is. All right, let's go out there and take a look. Let's
Walk
get
out there, and one of the clans has lost their entire herd.
Damn.
Shit on me.
Someone went through last night and has literally cut heads off of Brahmin
Just the heads.
Mhm.
And left the bodies behind.
to rot.
Well, first off.
Oh, and the guy watching the cattle's dead too because they couldn't let him go.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty then. This is Joshua making a statement, or the gang, or both. Alrighty. First off, before everybody starts trampling evidence around here, let's get some trackers out here and find out how many footprints we had and how many people we had doing this, and see if we can't get a trail going. Second, let's get some butchers out here and at least salvage this meat.
Since the Connies all know how to butcher, they all may start trying to get off what they can.
Mm-hmm.
Crying the whole time, 'cause, I mean, it's just the waste of it.
Yeah, but at least the meat won't go to waste.
Been sitting there since last night, hours. Yeah, a lot of it's already gone.
Yeah, but hopefully.
But they start saving what they can. What else did you order? I missed it.
Like I said, get some trackers out here in order to get to try and find the trick how they got in and got out.
Okay. Sure enough, the trackers will discover about 7 sets of tracks coming into town. One of them huge, like this.
Yep, that corresponds to the body count that Joshua gave us.
Basically, when you guys didn't turn that over the first night they asked for it, they've decided to step up their game.
Mm-hmm.
Probably never did meet at the red grass, did
Nope.
the red razor grass.
Nope.
We need to go ahead and follow this trail.
It certainly leads to the south. That you can tell exactly where it's going.
To the razor grass.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty then.
By the way, what was that literary reference?
Redfern grows.
Huh?
It's a play on Where the Redfern Grows, a very famous novel.
Ah, where the Redfern grows.
Alright, drone command.
Yep. Still
Well,
eyes in the
that-
sky. What you doing?
We're heading out to where the red razor grass is.
I still haven't seen this forefather guy you're telling me to look out for.
Yeah, I know. He's kind of disappeared on us. I got some deputies looking out for him. I got a sneaking suspicion he's going to wait out as long as he can until we drop our guard before he makes his move. Anyways, right now we got some people who just butchered an entire herd of brahmas. We got a trail running out to where the red razor ass is. We want to see if we can get that drone out there and find them for us.
Red razor grass? You mean endless pair of map coordinates?
Is it? Magic? Okay. Yeah, that's exactly where.
You hear, hey, get drone number 2 up. Hold on, we're gonna send somebody out there. We're gonna keep one eye on you and put the other one out there.
All right.
About an hour later.
All right. We need the deputies out here. We also need to get as many militia as we can. We're going to try and kill these son of a bitches. And this mutant is big. We're going to need the biggest fucking gun in town we can get.
Well, you can call up the militia, and I'll bring up just about every able-bodied man in Brightwater. All the Connies are eager to go out, so
yeah.
Let's say roughly you've got. I'm gonna say roughly you've got about, if you really want them, 300 men ready to go.
Well, I don't need that many, but I do need the biggest fucking guns in this town.
Okay. So most of the cities have ballistic weaponry, so the big guns are going to be hunting rifles.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be very generous and say that somewhere amongst the town there is one guy who's been hoarding and not letting anyone know about it.
There's always that one guy.
There's always that one guy.
A 50 caliber sniper rifle. He's got like a Barrett,
Ooh.
Oh,
but he's only got like 5 rounds for it.
Well, hopefully that will be enough. I will, however, have the drone command pass on to the military command that we have a mutant out here. A Nightkin.
You got a mutie?
Yep, Nightkin. Gray, bald, articulate.
I'm going to kick up a couple of warrior drones just to be sure they can drop some heavy ordnance for you. Just let me know where he is.
Oh yeah, we're going to tend to find him. We're going to have a Beretta out here, but we only got 5 rounds for it.
All right.
If you can scare up some more 50 cal rounds, I'd appreciate it.
I can't go that far.
I know. I was just hoping, so I thought I'd ask.
So, the party takes off to this place. I'm going to say you said you don't want 300. How many men do you want to take with you?
Let's say 70. Because I want to put a lot of firepower on this mutant if necessary. At least keep him pinned down.
So you got
and
70 folks with you.
If nothing else, we can take him apart with 1,000 cuts. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Hopefully not get too many people killed in the process. That's the reason I don't want full 300 out here. All we'll end up doing is having a lot of collateral damage from friendly fire. People will start panicking when this guy goes off.
Let us clear it.
So I'm thinking maybe 60 at most.
Well, you already said the word 70, so you take 70 men for me. I assume that most of them are commies.
Yeah, I'm going to leave 10 men behind, though, basically as a reserve for bringing. So 60 are going to be the initial attacking force. Leave 10 behind as backup, as well as to protect the 50 cal. And we're going to take out every freaking new toy we've acquired in our little journeys here. So, let's see. We got the F1 rifles. Okay, let's see. Alright. Oops.
Nice.
Thank you. Alright. Well, I set up, can you do me a favor?
Yes.
The pants need to be moved to the dryer at this point. So I have a uniform for work tonight. Alright, gang. So I'm going to use the matte page as just a general drawing surface. We're going to do this to scale. We're just going to talk about what you see. So there's this large pat, you know, That's not right. So there's this large patch of razor grass about 2.5 miles south of town, and it's got a slightly red coloration to it. Now, razor grass, as I've said before, is a tall, high-growing plant. It's got kind of thorns on it, hence the name. And moving through it can actually be hazardous to a person's health if they don't make a check. So typically people go through it, they're heavily armored. This whole patch here of grass is probably, I'm going to say, about 1,000 feet wide.
Okay.
To give you a sense of scale. Okay. And around that patch, you've got a couple of small creeks that feed it. Look like that. And some people may not be familiar with the term a creek. You know what a creek is, Ray?
Mm-mm.
A creek is a very small, fast-flowing stream. Typically, a creek is about a foot deep, if that. They're pretty much things you see along the surface of the earth,
Mm-hmm.
and it's all flowing around this patch of red. Now, that's not the only thing out there, of course, because you got trees out there too. And as I've already written, that Michigan came across a bit better than other places. All the green dots represent trees. These trees are still somewhat stunted though, not many of them are taller than 10 feet. There's a rise in the elevation. Representing plus 5 feet, plus 10 feet, plus 15 feet. Over that way is flat and that way's north.
What direction would we be coming?
We're coming from the north,
As-
unless you want to walk around it.
That's what the drone's for.
Okay.
See if we can't find these fuckers, because they're going to be waiting in ambush.
Drone goes on flyby and it takes some ground fire. The pilot evades the ground fire and says that he took fire from somewhere on this hill. Put a pair of X's there where he thinks the fire came from.
Mm-hmm. Not where I expected it to be. Best thing we do is to encircle the hill and then slowly work our way up it. But the last thing we want is that mutant to come charging down the hill with momentum behind him. Without the 50 cal set up and knowing exactly where he is, because he won't have time to respond. Okay. I think a critter that big can cover a lot of ground fast. We need to set the 50 cal somewhere. What kind of weapons fire was he taking? Small arms, pretty much.
Yeah, the pilot reports small arms fire.
All right. And these guys are in stealth boys, correct?
Well, we know at least Nightkin is, and we can postulate that at least 2 more of them have little devices.
Okay. And we have these cricks here. Now, when stealth boys go through something like tall grass and water, it does make motion and obvious
Right.
sounds.
A stealth boy obscures vision, so if you put them through an obstacle, they are easier to spot.
So we need to make them come to us, expose themselves, break cover. Let's drop some boom booms on them.
What kind of explosives are you talking about dropping?
Well, they said they had something coming out with explosives.
Okay, so what this is a drum that's got an interior bay. The bay basically stores grenades. You want to drop grenades along this hill line?
Yeah, basically drop a line of grenades. Not everything, because I want to save the bulk of it for the mutant.